First, I want you to see this headline, which comes from the Express, and that is noting that violent crime in London surging under Sadiq Khan, claims this new damning report. And let me give you some details on that. That report claims that crime rates within London have increased extensively since Sadiq Khan took office 3 years ago. The report says, quote, instead of demonstrating leadership on this issue, Sadiq Khan continues to adopt a quote unquote, not me gov attitude. Quote, he has repeatedly blamed central government for his failure to deal with rising crime and has pointed his finger even further afield with knife crime. Quote, amongst other things, the mayor has attempted to blame drill music, the middle classes, and even boredom for the rise in knife crime. And the report goes on to claim, Mr. Bacon claims a City Hall amendment identified nearly £83 million worth of wasteful spending, which he claims could have been invested into 1,738 extra police officers for the capital, but this was categorically rejected by our mayor, Mr. Khan. And this goes on to say, quote, Sadiq Khan tries to avoid blame by stating that rising crime is a national problem. But Londoners expect the mayor of London to do something rather than wring his hands helplessly and point fingers at other people, unquote. And that has been the story of this current mayor's time in office. Whether it's this year with COVID, or last year with knife crime, or the rise in upsurging crime, or the bailouts of the TfL, he is constantly pointing the finger at someone else, anyone that he can blame. Lately, he points the finger at the national government, the Conservative Party, the former mayor, Boris Johnson. Real leaders step up and take ownership, and they offer solutions to the problem. And that's not what we're seeing here. I want to show you some statistics. Again, I'm all about the numbers. The numbers never lie. And I want to show you this graph of crime rate per 1,000 population in London. We're going from 2010 all the way up to 2020. And again, we see a similar trend. Under the previous mayor, we see crime dropping. You see it going down from 2010 to 2012 to 2013 to 2014. And what happens when our current mayor starts taking office? We see crime increasing. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, breaking 100 crimes per 1,000 people in population. Look at the trend of that graph. It's absolutely horrific. Do you want another 3 years of that? Do you really want violent crime to continue surging year after year after year? Well, that's what you're going to get if you decide to stay with the current mayor of London. I want to show you another article coming from the Evening Standard, which says, quote, London crime rising 5 times faster than the rest of England. 5 times faster. And the article goes on to say, quote, crime in London rose 5 times more than the rest of the country last year. It goes on to say, quote, the number of homicides in the capital went up by 23% in the year to April, according to the Office for National Statistics data. And it finishes by saying the rise in crime is unacceptable and can no longer be tolerated by the citizens of London. Again, look at that graph. Violent crime surging every single year under the current mayor of London. And he can go on talk shows, he can go on radio shows, and he can explain how it's not his fault. He can explain how it's the national government's fault. He can tell you that he's putting things into place. He can even put slogans on the side of chicken boxes. But the numbers don't lie. He has failed as your current mayor when it comes to tackling knife crime for our teenagers, when it comes to tackling violent crime for our city, and it's unacceptable. And as your next mayor of London, I recognize one crucial fact. Safety is the key to any great city. It's also the key to any prosperous city because crime acts like a hidden tax on the economy. It hinders growth, it creates uncertainty, and it actually stops investment. So as your next mayor of London, one of my crucial aims is going to be to reduce violent crime in this city because everything else is going to be a benefit because of that.